Hey Team Absolution fans, it's your boy Doombringer Griffin, and I'm here to predict G-BT08. Stick around. What's up everybody, I'm Doombringer Griffin, and I'm here to predict G-BT08. So my analysis of the set is going to look a little bit different than the ones you've probably seen so far, but I'm going to cover the three most important topics of the set. So the set's coming out for us in October. It's already out in Japan, so we're kind of basing our analysis on the spoilers we've seen and the prices that have been assigned to the cards in Japanese card shops, online, etc. So my three main points are the money. Money's probably going to be the largest barrier to entry to getting the cards at any given time. But our analysis is based on the cards' prices settling out first. Since we have the numbers, the hype is moving along in Japan, we can kind of see or predict where the prices will settle out, in what order for the cards. Now the cards that I'm going to be covering are the GRs and the triple Rs. I'm not dipping into double Rs quite yet. If anyone would like a detailed analysis of that, I can write one up later. But for the sake of time, I want to keep it to the 10 cards that are the hardest to get in the set. So double Rs and their effects aside, I'm going to stick to the top, the tippy top. Next one is the cards themselves, their effects, what they can be used in. Are they going to be Hita Fajita, nice and spicy, good in any deck you decide to play them in, or are they going to be a freeze or burn hot pocket? Inedible, let's just not, alright? Let's just not. Don't eat the freeze or burn hot pocket, your mother would cry. And then over here we have the meta. And this is what decks the cards from G-BT08 go into and how they will stack up. Will they be the top contender, nice and strong, able to top in any given list or any given tournament? Or are they going to be new in town or waiting around to see what they're going to do to the meta? They may not have been tested quite so well. They might show up later. But we still think they're going to be all right. Keep in mind this meta-analysis is saying the decks used will be highly used. They will be in the metagame. I'm not going to say, okay, well, X card got one triple R and it's not coming back. It's not even going to be down here. It's going to be like, ooh, in the depths of the, Phantom Blast or Abyss, whatever. So this is going to just how well used they're going to be. Are they going to be, super strong? Or are they going to be brand new, untested, and we're going to see how they do. So we're going to jump right into this. We have 10 cards to cover. If I'm not mistaken, I am not mistaken. And so I'll jump right into money. Pricey versus pennies. So it's a pretty good, predictor that the GRs are going to be the most expensive, and you'd be right. Japanese card shops, Fenrir and Sharat cost 1,980 yen, which translates to $19. But if you look at the multiplier that we averaged out based on the last three sets, between Japanese and English cards, they're going to run us about $23 a piece once it settles out. Now that is not a guarantee. That is an average based on the multiplier found by comparing the prices of the last 30 triple Rs. So that's G-BT07, G-BT06, and G-BT05. So again, no promises here. Some were fairly inaccurate, but we averaged it out. Try to get the bell curve going here. Figure out what a good predictor would be. Could we be more specific? Most likely. Do we have stats knowledge? Maybe. Were we all really busy today? Yes. So I took it upon myself to try and guesstimate where these cards would land. So pricey. Honestly, not too bad, but we still have the GRs here. We still have Sharat, Fenrir. They're pricey. 23 apiece. It's not bad, but you still got to do some trading for that. And that's pretty much where the other GRs have settled. If you're not Gurgoit, Asha from set 6 settled at around 22. Then again, her counterpart Altmile is in the can, 12 or less right now. So Fenrir and Sharat definitely on the pricey side, and then we move down to the most expensive triple Rs, which are got Flagellate. Make sure I get my vowels right. Flagellate and Gash or Gauche. I'm pretty sure his actual English spelling is going to go something like this. They're sitting around $18 with the math that I just used. So they're next in line, about 18 a piece. It's still around 20. It's probably going to fluctuate between 15 and 20 depending on when you get them. Hype prices are higher. Keep in mind, we are not keeping hype prices in here. This is after everything is settled out, so it's been out for a few weeks, maybe even a month. We have some time to really look at where these cards are. Hype prices could be anywhere. And it just depends on how excited people are for the cards themselves or the meta they're going to fit into. So moving on, we have Golden Reigning Dragon. He is settling at about $9, which not bad at all. It's a really good stride in Gold Paladins, I think. Decent on first stride, you know, best first stride, maybe not. Really awesome late game though. And that's kind of the direction Bouchard took with this set in their strides, except for maybe Flagellate because he's amazing. Gauche kind of follows the same thing, even though his mechanics are different than Golden Reigning and Prana. But really that's kind of where we settled out. Golden Reigning Dragon. Moving on, we have Prana, the Neo Nectar stride. I want to say it's Odahime, a Limitar, the Neo Nectar stride. Clearly I don't play that clan, no disrespect to Neo Nectar players. And the Regalia stride. Moving on down, we got Regalia, Neo Nectar, and then Prana. So moving down the list, you can see here that, you know, that's pretty much where we're at. About $7.50, $6, $4, and then pennies. You guessed it. The only one left. It's Fetus. Fighties, something. He gets the pennies award for being $2 whole stinking dollars. Nice. So he's a bargain if you play Brave. Don't play Brave. That character's dead. No more support for him. Woo! Go back to playing Vanguard, you sacks of crap. So, here's our price structure right here. If you're playing Dark Irregulars or Genesis, I'm sorry that your support had to come in the form of nice shiny GRs, but you're going to be paying the money or trading the cards. If you're playing Royals and you were playing Brave, good for you. Your stinky support isn't worth a whole lot of money. And if you're Gold Paladins, you're probably happy that the card's under $10 once the price is settled out. Again, all conjecture, guesstimates based on some math that may or may not be perfect, but, you know, we're just trying to do this for you guys so you can kind of see where these cards are going to lay out. Side players, compared to some of how much your other cards are, get your Flagellates early. We don't want to see where that card's going. If your deck gets super good, hey, why not? Alright, so the cards themselves. Let's talk about what's nice and spicy. But I'm going to start with Freezer Burn Hot Pocket first. I like to keep nice and spicy for later, once I've been disappointed over and over. So, unfortunately, nobody won the Freezer Burn Hot Pocket Award this time. The strides themselves are all pretty okay under the right circumstances. But circumstances, this big bubble is called circumstances. They can be super stinky, if not for the right circumstances, but most of these are pretty general strides. So we're going to give them the benefit of the doubt here that you're able to use them to the best of their ability. But pretty close to the bottom again, I'm going to put Fetus. He kind of disappointed me for a Royal Stride. I mean, he's alright for what he does, but as the way I put it, they kind of tacked every effect onto him that wouldn't break Brave as a deck. They gave him power. He gives the front row power. He calls a dude. He retires a dude. He filters you a card. I mean, that's 5 separate effects used at various points in the game, depending on how many of his steps you went through. But that's kind of, I mean, it just disappointed me. Like, is it a great utility stride? Sure, it has all of the utility in it, but it falls flat for me. I wasn't happy. It doesn't make Brave super good, and that's pretty much what they needed, considering all the alt-mile strides are just kind of like chugging along. Here's my game plan. Dumb dudes on the board, give the front row power, and swing. I'm not happy with it, and that's my opinion right here. The Fetus is really close to popping this bubble on Freezer Burn Hot Pocket, but it's not the worst card in the whole wide world. It's just a little disappointing for me. And then down here, we have Prana, She's alright. Not bad for a first stride. It's nothing that Pale Moon didn't already have, though. I mean, kind of sitting around looking at this, like, she's a build-a-board, but she's not as good as Gash. And she's definitely not as good as Flagellate or Golden Raining. So, here we're kind of just looking at these. The Regalia strides, not bad. I'd put her just slightly above Prana. I want to say her name's with her, but I'm not going to try and pronounce that and butcher it. So there's Regalia slightly above Prana. Considering there's a lot of space here, there's a lot of space between these cards and these cards. Now the Regalia stride's definitely not bad, but honestly, you already have the tools to succeed, and I don't really see how another utility stride's really helping you. So that's where this goes. And up next to her, I'm putting, well, this one is super circumstantial, but above Regalia, I'm putting Neo Nectar. It's a really cool card basing her effects on what a Limitar does, and just making everything on the board the same name via the card text itself or another effect. It's really cool when it works. The thing is, it is really circumstantial when your entire deck is based on everything having the same name now. I mean, it's kind of cool. I don't really see the value of that. And now, leaving a really large space here, larger than these anyway, I'm going to put Gauche. I don't put him here. He is a build-a-board. He is awesome, but you need the soul to use him. And so my only hang up on that is you have to, now you've got Rough Seas, so that's cool. You can definitely put cards in the soul, but you also normally run Dancing Cutlass. And so while you're drawing all those cards and soul blasting all that stuff, you kind of forget that your stride needs that. So unless we get some real soul charging mechanics in Granblue super soon that you're not immediately going to abuse with Dancing Cutlass, some card choices are going to have to be made, or Gash isn't going to be the 5-card build-a-board that you want him to be. And that's all I have to say about that. Up here, I'm going to put Golden Raining Dragon. He's really good. I like what he does a lot. And I put him above Gash because he's the only thing that's really conditional about him is the fact that you want more cards in the G-Zone flipped up, and especially more copies of himself. So he is a later game card, but unlike Gash, his utility isn't limited by the resources you have, just how many strides you've gone through. So I put him up here, and then farther up I've gotten really good at spelling his name, Charlotte. I don't really know what they were going for. Apparently it was Charlotte or another word that means scarlet. So it was gonna be pretty cool, and then it wasn't. So here's Charlotte. His effect works really well in tandem with the Enigmatic Assassin combo that I've been talking about a lot in videos recently. So he sucks all the rear guards in, and if you have 15 or more cards in Soul, he blows up all your opponent's rear guards, and then your opponent can't guard with Sentinels, assuming you have 15 or more cards in the Soul. So he's really cool. He works really well with crits. He doesn't stop G guards, but he gains 10,000 power on swing anyway, so he's 36, no Sentinels. And then I can't really call anything else at this point. I'm trying to think if you can't use the Enigmatic Assassin combo, or at least I haven't gotten a ruling back on that. If you can do that or not, considering his effect is also at the beginning of the attack step. So I'll have to get back to you on that. But honestly, with Gilderay already doing all of the work on the back end anyway, never allowing your opponent to PG or Vanguard attacks stinks, and he's really good in combo with Gilderay. And so they take up the offensive core of the Stride deck easily. But he's not the spiciest thing in the set. No. Although he is a board wipe. That's neat. Dark Regulars, probably like that. I'll find out as soon as I play that deck. But up in the Fajita spot, we have Fenrir and Flagellate. Now, if you didn't see our Flagellate analysis on the Facebook page, go like our Facebook page, turn on notifications, send us an Ask Absolution if you like. But we broke down Flagellate, and if you combo him right, he is a Stride turn 1 Omega 2. It's so good. Do you know how good that is? Just removing your opponent's plays for not 1 but 2 turns, and then going into Big Crunch or another Flagellate, blocking down the other 2, or just the same column again. There's no contending with that. And the fact that Flagellate allows you to have multiple attacks and use your Messiah skills. I don't know what to tell you. He's all of the utility in the world for that deck, and a lot of staying power for Messiahs. I'm looking forward to what they're going to do. But speaking of what they're going to do, Fenrir, turning really, I think, probably the spiciest effect in this set, considering he changes other card text. That's not something we've seen very often, except from Nectar, who changes card names. But Fenrir changing other skills to something more improved during your stride turn. Revelation seems like a really cool ability. We're excited to see what it's doing. We hear good things from Japan and Singapore, and so I think that is the spiciest card in this set, and as well as the most expensive, probably for a reason. No kidding, right? And jumping straight over to how's this all going to affect the meta, Ryan? That's one of the biggest questions you guys ask us. What could this clan do to be better? How can this clan jump back into the meta with support? What's the meta going to look like after this set? Well, I'm here to answer at least a few of those questions for you, at least based on the 10 cards that I've shown you so far. 9 cards? Did I forget one? Ah, yes, I did forget one. And I'm going to correct this real quick. I forgot there is a Dark Irregulars grade 3. It's Glenzend. He's also pennies. And he's like right here. So Glenzend Vampire, he's a good backup to Charat. I like him a lot, but he's the mechanic grade 3. He's the one that says, look for this thing in the top however many cards, or when this thing happens, do X. So we've been seeing a lot of those pretty generic cards more recently. He's the one for Dark Irregulars. He's worth no money. And he's just alright. In fact, I think he's the only non-stride in the triple Rs, which is kind of poopy. But that being said, I'll play him, that's for sure. So, meta. Now I'm going to get away from the cards themselves and go into the decks that they will be played in. So, top contenders. Definitely based on what we have so far, I'm giving the top contender spot to Granblue. So Granblue, already really strong, poised to take the top spot. Now that Gear Chronicle is getting the shaft from Looted TikTok Worker. Now Royals, obviously I would put Vanguard up here, but didn't really get any support, at least in these triple Rs, because Fetus, he's not helping out Vanguard. So Royals, as Brave is concerned, I'm even putting them below New in Town. I'm not looking forward to that at all. I mean, if Brave suddenly gets good, but I don't think they will because their support has the golden goose has been killed in Cardfight. Spoilers, sorry. So Brave is hopefully no more. It wasn't a very good mechanic in the first place. So our top contender, Granblue, right down here. I'm gonna put Messiah. I'm super excited for what they're gonna do, especially with Flagellate. Now, Amnesty, I can't be correct in saying the Flagellate is like, oh, they finally got a good first ride. Amnesty is technically a first ride, but it doesn't provide the same utility that Flagellate does. Amnesty just turns on your Messiah skills, and it's pretty good at doing that, but I think Flagellate, while it can still swing with the crit, it actually leaves your opponent feeling disadvantaged and less prepared to deal with the oncoming turns. So I'm definitely excited about Messiahs. As far as this list is concerned, I'm not saying that Vanguard and the rest of Kagero and what have you aren't going to be good. I'm saying based on these, how they're going to jump back into the meta and about on a scale with each other, how well they're going to do. And right down from Messiah, I'm going to put Gold Paladins specifically. No, I'm just going to put Gold Paladins because that could be really anything except maybe Pure Azel, or if you're still trying to play something else really old. So this is essentially Gurgoite and Bluish Flame Liberators. I think they both could see some good stuff coming out of Golden Raining, and I'm excited to see what it'll do for them, especially since he is a pretty large late game threat. So I've got Gold Paladins. I wouldn't call them new in town, but I'm gonna put Fenrir here. So I'm gonna put Genesis Fenrir. They're not bad as it is, and Fenrir's going to jump back in and change the whole thing up. So while I would like to put them down in the untested spot, we've heard really good things from Japan about what new Genesis with Fenrir is going to do. And now that it has some real support to itself, we can see really, one, what Revelation does, and two, what the deck can do as a whole. And I'm excited. I think it's going to do good things. Right under that, I'm going to go with Dark Irregulars. They got an amazing generic stride, and while I personally am playing Shara, I think the deck is more fun than Amon. I think Amon is probably the speedier version. I think Dark Irregulars as a whole benefited a lot just from the Shara stride, and their offensive core is just going to be some number of Shara, some number of Gilderay, and if you're playing Blade Wings or Amon, you're playing some of your stride probably as well. But as far as Shara goes, just 4 and 4s. It's over. It's done. I've got 4 no PG, sometimes nothing higher swings, usually with huge numbers, and sometimes with a crit, and sometimes you have no rear guards. So really, I can just take my pick of what I want that turn, and then combo off with a New Assassin, add 20k to my back line, and that's probably going to be it. So while we've also heard good things about Dark Irregulars, we've kind of not heard as many as Genesis, and they may not be as cool or as useful as Genesis. I'm still excited about Dark Irregulars myself. Now, new in town. Alright, so just for reference, Brave is down here. At least in my eyes, I've never been super sold on that deck. I like what Altmile can do, and the Brave cards themselves aren't terrible sometimes, especially when Brave can be turned on, but I didn't think Fetus is anything to... Well, I think he is probably something to sneeze at. Not the worst, but I'm not impressed. I'm sorry, Fetus, I'm not. And Regalia is not super in the meta. I think this could be alright with a new stride. Where do I want to put him? I think I'm just going to not use this space. Space goes to nobody. And right now, new in town, still untested, still not sure where they're going to be. Pale Moon, Neo Nectars. Nothing super wrong with Neo Nectars right now. I've always thought that their clan mechanic as a whole was a little too conditional. They could be really good. I've heard people keep showing up with them at tournaments, and it's only a matter of time until somebody gets what they want. Pale Moon, Neo Nectar, and I'm also going to put down Regalia. They're not really new in town, but it's a new town, and they need to come back swinging if they want to make a difference. So this has been my G-BT08 forecast. I just tried to rank what we got here. Our prices, again, are not something that I can prove to you. It's really just guessing. That's really what any economics show is, I suppose. But this is our metrics from Japan. And if you see good prices on any of these top 4 cards, wouldn't be bad to pick them up. This is what I think the cards themselves are going to look like. I mean, this is just how I personally rank them. And the meta, again, a guess, and this is just based on what's in here, and if I were to rank these decks going into the meta without the other meta, with the other meta aside, this is how I do it. So this has been my G-BT08 forecast. Thanks for tuning in. If you want more videos like this, drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our Facebook page. Thanks so much for watching. Peace.